Good evening, and welcome to the March 9th, 2026 meeting of the Menlo Park Planning Commission. I am Vice Chair Ross Silverstein, and I thank you for joining us this evening. Established by state law, our city's planning commission is composed of 7 volunteer residents of Menlo Park appointed to 4-year terms by the City Council. The Planning Commission reviews development proposals for compliance with our city's general plan and zoning ordinance, which can both be found on the city's website. The commission reviews development proposals requiring a use permit, architectural control, a variance, minor subdivision, as well as the environmental reviews associated with those projects. When applicable, the Planning Commission reviews below market rate housing agreements associated with these applications. The commission is the final decision-making body for these applications unless appealed to the City Council. The commission also serves as the recommending body to the City Council for major subdivisions, rezoning, conditional development permits, zoning ordinance amendments, general plan amendments, and environmental reviews associated with those projects. If applicable, the Planning Commission also reviews and makes recommendations on BMR agreements associated with these projects. Staff in our city's planning division are responsible for the processing development applications, as well as for both implementing and amending the general plan, zoning ordinance, and related policies in order to further the city's goals. Staff is also responsible for the agenda of the regular Planning Commission meetings and for prioritizing what and when agenda items or development applications come before the Planning Commission. Planning commissioners do not have any ability to place items on the agenda for these meetings. We encourage your active participation, whether you're an applicant or interested member of the public, and there will be an opportunity to speak publicly for each specific agenda item, as well as for general public comment. With that, I will call the roll. Commissioner Baruzzi.
Here.
Commissioner Doe.
Here.
Commissioner Farrick.
Here.
Commissioner Schindler.
Here.
Commissioner Sillen. Here. And I'm Vice Chair Silverstein, and I'm present. So we have 6 commissioners in chamber, which is a quorum with 1 commissioner absent. Next on our item on our agenda are reports and announcements. Ms. Sandmeyer, are there any staff reports or announcements this evening?
Yeah, good evening, Vice Chair Silverstein and commissioners. I have one update. So tomorrow the City Council will hold a study session on the Slow Streets program and the implementation process. That concludes my updates, but I'm happy to answer any questions.
Do commissioners have any questions or any announcements of their own? Commissioner Schindler.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Excuse me, I don't have a question about the announcement. I do have just a brief announcement to make, but I guess I should ask if any other commissioners have questions about Ms. Sandmeyer's announcement first.
You can go ahead.
Thank you. I recently sought some feedback from city staff and city attorney regarding whether the Planning Commission individually or as a whole can take positions on local ballot measures, and if so, what the process would be for doing so. I think as members of the commission probably saw in the email from Community Development Director Chow, it is fine saw the email, and I will give you my paraphrasing interpretation, which is that it's fine for individuals who are members of this commission to take a public position so long as they speak in a personal capacity and don't use any city resources, including meeting staff time or any city facilities. Based on that email and feedback that was shared with the Planning Commission, based on the Planning Commission email, it is also my understanding that taking a position on the initiative as a whole, so as a commission, could be considered involving city staff's time and city facilities, and therefore would not be permissible. And there's also no California state case law that would set a precedent giving commissions the ability to do so. And as the Vice Chair stated in teeing up this particular meeting, the agenda of Planning Commission meetings are done at the direction of City Council. And so planning commissioners, as the Vice Chair said, do not have the ability to put things on the agenda. So I think I just wanted to offer that as an addition to the email that we all received from Deanna Chow. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Schindler. I also have a report I'd like to make. In a previous Planning Commission meeting, there was some discussion around the interpretation of California AB 2097, specifically the areas in Menlo Park for which minimum parking requirements cannot be enforced. And without going into all the details, I would like to report that Chair Eric and I have been communicating with staff regarding their interpretation of that bill, and they have agreed to look into this further and get back to us shortly. But it is also possible that we might need further guidance from HCD on this bill's specific applicability to Menlo Park. Okay, let's move to item D, public comment. Under public comment, the public may address the commission on any subject not listed on the agenda. Each speaker may address the commission once under public comment for a limit of 3 minutes. You are not required to provide your name, district, or city of residence, but it is helpful. The commission cannot act on items not listed on the agenda. Therefore, the commission cannot respond to non-agenda issues brought up under public comment other than to provide general information. Please know if you are here tonight to comment on one of our agenda items, you will have a chance to speak when we get to that item in the agenda. To learn how to participate, I'm going to turn it over to our clerk this evening, Ms. Roy, to explain how people can participate in public comment.
Thank you, Vice Chair Silverstein, Commissioners and Member of Public. This is Monica Roy, Planning Technician. At this time, we are opening public comment period for items not listed on the agenda. If you are in the council chamber and you would like to speak, please fill out a comment card and hand it over to me. For those who are attending virtually via Zoom, please click the raised hand button. And if you are calling by phone, please press *9 on your keypad and you will be able to speak. At this moment, I don't have any comment cards or hand raised, but if you'd like, you can wait a few more minutes.
Seeing none, I'm going to close the public comment portion of our agenda. And tonight, considering there are no items on our consent calendar, I will move straight to public hearing items, starting with F1. This is an agenda item regarding the use permit at 365 Arden Road. At this public hearing, the commission may consider and adopt a resolution to approve a use permit to demolish an existing single-family residence to construct a new 2-story single-family residence with an attached garage on a substandard lot with regard to minimum lot area and lot width in the R1S Felton Gables single-family suburban residential zoning district at 365 Arden Road, and determine this action is categorically exempt under CEQA guidelines section 15303's class 3 exemption for new construction or conversion of small structures. This project includes an attached accessory dwelling unit, which is a permitted use and not subject to discretionary review. Mr. Ball, I believe you're the staff lead on this project.
That's correct.
Are there any updates to the staff report at this time?
Good evening, Vice Chair Silverstein and Planning Commission members. I don't have any updates to the staff report at this time.
Great. It is my understanding that the applicant would like to either make a presentation or issue any statements. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Go ahead.
Yeah, please come up to the podium and give me a few minutes. I can share the presentation.
And if you could state your name, that'd be great.
Hi, good evening, Vice Chair and members of the Commission. My name is Hannah Chu. I work with Thomas James Homes, applicant for the project at 365 Arden Road. I also have our Director of Forward Planning, Alicia Wilson, here to answer any questions about the project that may come up during this time. But as mentioned, I did prepare a very brief presentation of the project just to provide some further details that may have not been mentioned in the staff report. I guess we can get started. I see the next slide, please. Thank you. So this slide is just essentially our site plan. You'll see that we are removing 4 trees. We can better show that on our planting plan later on in the presentation here, but I just wanted to show the context and the placement of the house on the street along Arden Road. I've highlighted the first and second story side yard setbacks for reference. And so along the right side of the property, we are 18 feet from the first story setback and then 23 feet along the second story from the side yard. And then on the left side, we are 11 feet on the first story side yard setback and 21 feet for the second story. And then if we could go on to the next slide, please. So the next slides are just going to be of our floor plan. This is the first floor here. We're proposing a 2-car garage. There will be an ADU in the rear portion, left rear portion of the home. ADU is not a part of this use permit application, but just wanted to note. And then if we move on to the second slide, please. This is our second story floor plan, 3 bedrooms upstairs. I've highlighted in that light aqua blue just the locations of the second story windows just for better reference. And if we can move on to the next slide. And so the next 2 slides are going to be our elevations, our front and our right. And the next slide, please, to show our rear and our left. And the next slide, please, will be our colors and materials board along with renderings, just so you see a visual of the home with the exterior materials and the colors that we are proposing. Next slide, please. And then the last slide here is essentially just showing our planting plan. As mentioned, we are removing 4 trees. One of those trees was protected and we did obtain a tree removal permit. That'd be tree number 2 in the rear. It was a black acacia. We removed it due to an undesirable species. We are planting 5 new trees, 1 in the front yard, 1 along the kind of front right of the home, and then 3 in the left rear. And then I've also highlighted our fence that we are proposing that would wrap around the property. It'd be a 6-foot fence, and it's highlighted in orange. Next slide, please. And that will end my brief presentation. And if there are any questions, please let me know. Thank you all for your time tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Do any commissioners have clarifying questions to either staff or the applicant?
I have one.
Commissioner Farrick.
Could you pull back the visual image of that you just had, the landscape plan with the where the fence is and things? What are the circles on the right side as I'm looking at the property represent along the fence line, the white circles?
Okay, so that is essentially, we like to have privacy screening usually up against our fences. And so that's going to be icy blue, yellow wood. And I think typically in height, it can grow anywhere from like 15 to 30 feet. And so I believe that's what you're mentioning here with the circle with the triangle in the center, correct?
Yep.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Thank you.
Mhm.
And then I have one clarifying question for staff. I was attempting to find the specifics around our minimum lot size requirements for R1S FG zoning district. And in the municipal code, I don't believe, at least on the page that outlines the specific regulations for R1S FG, which is 16.15, it outlines that. It's my understanding that the minimum lot sizes are being applied the same towards R1S and R1S FG, but I just didn't see that in the actual code, and I was wondering if I was missing something or where I might find that. Thank you.
Yes, that's correct, Vice Chair Silverstein. We apply the R1S minimum lot size requirements to the R1S FG. It doesn't state it in the code.
If it doesn't state it in the
specifically.
code, is it a requirement? Or I guess I'm wondering, is there an element in the code
Oh.
that,
Okay, yeah, it's
extends
so,
it.
it's, yeah, the wording is the development regulations in the R1S district are as follows. And then it goes into the minimum lot dimensions below.
okay, it's my understanding that we have an R1S district, and then we also have an R1S FG district, and those are in two different districts. We don't need to belabor the point, but at least the way I see it is two entirely different zoning districts. I'm not sure if one is a subset of the other.
Yeah, I can provide a clarification. So 16.15.030 development regulations in the R1 SFG district. It says those shall be the same as those in the R1S district, except for the following.
Perfect. That's exactly what I was looking for. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Sorry, I was confused. With that, and seeing no other clarifying questions, Ms. Roy, can we open this item up for public comment, please?
Yes. Thank you, Vice Chair again. As a reminder, if you are in the council chamber and you'd like to speak, please fill out a comment card and hand it over to me. For those who are attending virtually via Zoom, please click on raised hand button. And if you are calling by phone, please press *9 on your keypad and you will be able to speak. And let me check if I have any online commenters. Okay, so at this point, I don't have any comment cards or anyone.
I believe there's a gentleman in the room who wants
Okay,
to.
sorry. Yeah, I think you have to. fill
Feel
out
free
the
to
comment
make your
card.
comment first, and then for the record, you can fill out the comment card afterward.
Yeah, please go ahead to the podium and let me set up your 3-minute timer. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Bob Ryder, and
Sorry, could you speak directly into the microphone so people on the Zoom can hear you? Thank you.
my name is Bob Ryder, and I live at the property at 375 Arden Road next door. And there are two windows on a second floor stairway that have direct access into our backyard, where we have a courtyard, a spa, a table and chairs, and it also would have direct access into our family room through French doors. So I would like to get those removed, or have a separate solution for what they're necessary for.
Are you finished with your comment?
Yeah, I can reference a page on the plans that we were given.
You're welcome to continue speaking until the timer is up, but we're not allowed to respond directly to your comment.
Okay. And it's page A6 on the plans that were submitted to us, neighbors. And the real concern is privacy. That's it.
Thank you for your comment. Ms. Roy, are there any other members of the public who wish to speak?
No, at this point, I don't have any other commenters here. Thank you.
With that, I will close the public comment period and move us to commission discussion. Do any commissioners wish to make any comment regarding this item F1? Commissioner Farrick.
Thank you. The reason I asked about the planting plan along that side was exactly for the comment that was expressed. And I'm actually quite impressed with the planting plan and the privacy screening that surrounds this project, given the wide setbacks as well. I guess the only question I would have is whether the project applicant had considered, what your willingness is for, like, partially frosted on the lower half of the windows or anything like that, or if you'd prefer to keep the privacy considerations to the landscape plan.
Sorry, so you'd mentioned the idea of the frosted windows of the lower portion of the windows, and I think the windows in question, is it possible to bring up the presentation back again, or if not, it's okay?
Yes, I can do.
Okay.
Plus, give me a moment.
Okay. Just for, I don't know, for visual representation here. And then if we could go to slide number, or I guess maybe page number 10 of the slide. Two past this one? Or go in the
Down,
opposite direction. Yeah, sorry.
downward?
Yeah, down, please. Yeah. Right here. So here is a kind of close-up, I hope everyone can see this, of the right elevation with windows numbered. 1, 2, 3 are on the first floor. 6, 7, 4, and 5 are a part of our staircase. 12 is in a window that's outlooking the Grand Master Suite tub. Windows 8, 9, 10, and 11 are on the first floor. And I think the windows of concern are 6 and 7 within our staircase. And at this time, we would like to not keep them frosted. It is great sunlight that brings into the home from the stairwell. And we feel that with that stairwell landing not being a high traffic place, that we feel that it is reasonable for privacy, as well as it's not quite on the second floor, not quite on the first floor. And we do have about 23 feet of setback from just our property line, as well as the landscape screening. We did have, back and forth with the neighbor, and we appreciate that he come and voice his concerns, but ultimately we would like to keep the window unfrosted if we can.
Thank you.
Yes.
But Commissioner Sillen.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, I wanted to just clarify or ask if you could clarify, like, depending on how the stairwell is configured, sometimes windows you can't even like stand next to it and look into it. Can you clarify like where a human might be standing in with respect to these windows as they travel up the stairs?
Yeah, so I think windows 6 and 7, it would be in the sort of center landing of the staircase. So going up it, the center landing, and then continuing up to get to the second floor. So that's where the 6 and 7 windows would be. And then the 4, 5 windows are at the top of the staircase. So there would never be a chance that you could look out those windows unless maybe you had a ladder on the staircase to look out them. They're simply for sunlight peering in for 4 and 5.
Thank you. Yeah, I guess I echo what Commissioner Farrick said. And I think that, yeah, given this height and given that you're doing screening trees and the 23-foot setback, I think it doesn't strike me as a major issue. I understand that if someone has been living in the house next to it and suddenly now there's this house being built that wasn't there before and is taller than it was before, and there's sight lines that didn't exist before, that's uncomfortable. So I totally understand that. But I think, I don't want to speak for everybody here, but we generally give deference to our design standards here at the city, and this project seems to meet all those. So I'm hesitant to kind of impose anything on top of that at this point.
Commissioner Schindler.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Excuse me, I'll build on what Commissioner Sillen was saying. Again, this proposal meets all the city's requirements. And I think when I compare it to similar two-story projects that we have seen, it shows consideration on this side of the house for actually fairly few windows and with fairly high bottom sills compared to some others that we have seen and approved. And I know that we have seen and approved numerous plans that have staircase windows. And in most cases, they are considerably closer than, I'm not going to, I believe 23 feet to the property line, but closer to 35 feet to the next adjacent building. So I think because we do sort of, as Commissioner Sillen said, stick with city principles, but we also just keep an eye on consistency throughout the community. I think this meets all the decision-making criteria that we have. And so I will be voting in favor of supporting the use permit.
Commissioner Dill.
Thank you, Vice Chair. I agree with the previous comments, and I appreciate Commissioner Farrick asking if obscuring is an option, because in the past, when neighbors have been very concerned about privacy, sometimes the applicant is amenable. Maybe it's in a bathroom or something where it's, so for whatever reason, that I appreciate that option being brought forth in your honest answer. I looked up the plant, Googled it, and it looks like a very dense plant in the planting plan. They're very close together. When it's planted, how long does it take to reach that? I'd say at least a minimum of 15 feet. That might be kind of where it starts to block anyone from actually seeing just how many years. Just curious.
That I actually don't know off the top of my head. I would have to consult with our landscape arborist directly, but I do know that we would be planting 15-gallon. That would be the size that would be planted. So to reach full maturity could take maybe 2 years, 3 years, maybe. But it would be something that I would have to consult before I can give a definitive answer.
I mean, it doesn't, I think, change how I feel, but I appreciate the estimate. Thank you.
Commissioner Farrick.
I'll just add one last comment that often, as we've considered these, the setbacks are closer to 5 feet. And also we often will suggest as a solution, a planting plan like you already have. And so this is already the solution that we've often come to with other projects out of consideration, not as a requirement necessarily, unless project-specific requirements. So I appreciate that you've thought of that and figured out which species in a substantial enough size of plant that is going to be a very healthy screening and hopefully not, not any, any amount of time that will cause great concern.
If you'd like to say something, Commissioner Baruzzi, you're welcome to.
I really don't have much to add. I agree with my colleagues, and I think that abiding by our standards is a good thing and not being sort of subjectively discriminatory. So that's where I'm landing.
Hearing all of the commissioners so far having had the chance to opine, I would like to make a motion to approve the use permit as stated in the application and would welcome a second. Commissioner Schindler.
I'm happy to second.
Seeing no further discussion, I will take a vote. Commissioner Baruzzi.
Yes.
Commissioner Doe.
Yes.
Commissioner Farrick.
Yes.
Commissioner Schindler.
Yes.
Commissioner Sillen.
Yes.
And I am also a yes, which is unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now moving on to item F2. This agenda item is regarding the use permit revision at 333 Middlefield Road. At this public hearing, the commission may consider and adopt a resolution to approve a use permit revision to operate a medical office at an existing commercial office building that is substandard with regard to the minimum parking requirement in the C1 Administrative and Professional Restrictive Zoning District at 333 Middlefield Road, and determine this action is categorically exempt under CEQA Guidelines 15301's Class 1 exemption for existing facilities. Mr. Chan, I believe you're the staff lead on this project. Are there any updates to the staff report at this time?
Thank you, Vice Chair Silverstein, members of the commission. There are no updates to the staff report at this time. However, I would like to introduce our project applicant, Asima Otoya, who is Vice President of Growth and Head of the West Region for Atria Health. She would like to begin today's discussion with a few slides.
Please feel free.
I'll set up the slides for you. Yeah, give me a moment. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, Vice Chairman Silverstein and council members. My name is Seema Otoya, and I oversee the West Coast expansion for Atria Health and Research Institute. It's my honor to be here today. Atria is a membership-based preventative care medical institute, and we are focused on helping families live longer, healthier lives. Today, I'd love to share a little bit more about our company. You've seen our project plans and the staff report, and I'm here to just provide a little more context and details about what we are and why we're so excited to be here in Menlo Park. Menlo Park has been a longstanding innovator in the health space and quality of life, and we're really excited to bring our project to your community. Next slide, please. So Atria is going to be making a $50 million investment in the Menlo Park community. Our project plans to create a lot of high value jobs in the community. We will be supporting local nonprofits through partnerships, and we'll be bringing state-of-the-art medical technology to the Bay Area. Our goal is to be a thoughtful partner and a long-term member of the Menlo Park community. Go to the next slide, please. Today, Atria operates 2 institutes, one in New York, the other one in South Florida in Palm Beach. We're opening our Los Angeles Institute later this year in Beverly Hills, and Menlo Park will be our 4th flagship institute here in the Bay Area. Our business is that of preventative care for our members. We have advanced technologies within our facilities. We provide longevity programs, and we provide personalized medicine. What we are not is we're not a hospital. We're not an emergency room. We are not an urgent care facility. We're appointment-based, and there's no walk-in. So it does not create additional foot traffic, does not create impact to your traffic patterns. We really are a kind of partner for preventative care in a very low impact way. So if we go to the next slide, I can show you some pictures of how we look. Today in New York, which is our flagship, it opened about 4 years ago. It is at full capacity. These are some visuals of what the Institute looks like on 57th Street. We can just thumb through some of these slides, please. It's 2 floors. We have beautiful facilities. We do exams. There's no procedures, no surgeries. And we provide a hospitality way of doing business. So we provide some food for our members when they come in. This is some of our imaging that we provide, X-ray, CT, MRI, and we also provide care for pediatrics. Great. And then our next set of slides are for our South Florida location, which is in Palm Beach. And so you'll see it has a similar look and feel, adapted for the local community. We have about 15 specialists and MDs across different specialties who work in our institutes. And then we go to Menlo Park. These are some design renderings of what we plan to build here. Our building's on 333 Middlefield Road. It's about 44,000 square feet. And these are the renderings for what the Institute will look like. Again, same look and feel as what we have in New York and in Palm Beach. And we'll be having the same advanced technologies and modalities that we have in our existing facilities. And in closing, I just want to mention that we are really excited to be here in Menlo Park. We truly believe we'll be a positive addition to the community. We will be putting a significant investment in the local community. We're going to be supporting the city's sustainability goals, and we will be providing very minimal impact to the traffic and surrounding neighborhoods. We respectfully ask for your support in this project and look forward to being a partner with you all going forward. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for the presentation. Do any commissioners have any clarifying questions for the applicant or staff? Seeing none, can we please, oh, sorry, Commissioner Sillen does. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was a little late there. This is a question for staff. So I was trying to look up the page, but I'm seeing that I saw somewhere that the zoning district that this project is in does not have any permitted uses, and all uses require a use permit. If that wording is incorrect, please correct me. I'm just wondering, I guess, if you could give any background on how that's possible, or yeah, why would we have a zoning district without any permitted uses? Thank you.
Thank you for the question, Commissioner Silla. So you are correct in your statement that the C1 district, C1 is the administrative and professional district, restrictive district, has no principally permitted uses. There are a list of conditionally allowed uses. There's about 5 of them, and the 5th one includes special uses. I don't know the original intent for why this was set up this way, but it is quite common for these commercial districts to have that conditional use process to ensure that the proposed business or use is compatible with the district.
Thank you. And does that mean that any use requires a planning commission hearing, or are there some conditional uses that do not require a hearing with the planning commission?
All conditional uses would be subject to a use permit review.
Got it. Okay. Thank you. I don't have any other questions.
Seeing no further clarifying questions, can we please open the floor for public comment?
Thank you, Vice Chair. As a reminder, we are opening public comment period for this item now. If you are in the council chamber and you would like to speak, please fill out a comment card and hand it over to me. For those who are attending virtually via Zoom, please click the raised hand button. And if you are calling by phone, press *9 on your keypad and you will be able to speak. At this moment, I don't have any comment cards or any hands raised, but we can wait a few moments if you like.
Seeing no public commenters, I'm going to close public comment and move to commission discussion. Before I ask other commissioners to opine on this, I want to state that after having reviewed the very lengthy staff report and evaluation, I personally am very supportive of this use permit and do not feel that the fewer than required parking spots as our zoning code requires will be an issue within the community, and am very happy to support this, but would love to hear what other commissioners have to say. Commissioner Sillen.
Thank you. Yeah, I just want to echo the note here that from staff that in the summary saying that it's unlikely that every single employee patient would show up at the same time. That does seem extremely unlikely. So yeah, I support. Yeah, I agree with Vice Chair Silverstein's notion that this project seems good and a good addition to the community. And yeah, I think I would just say that it seems like perhaps not the best use of staff and planning commission time to review projects. I realize that this also has this parking issue, but also having a district that requires every single use to have a hearing seems overly burdensome to me.
Commissioner Doe.
Thank you, Vice Chair. As always, I appreciate those larger statements about use of staff time and everyone's time. I just wanted to say I'm really glad that an existing building is being reused. You mentioned sustainability, and just reusing a building is a great way to do that. And you also, in the applicant letter, mentioned all electric, so I appreciate those aspects. I'm also supportive. Thank you.
Commissioner Sillen.
Thanks. I just remembered question I had for the applicant through the chair. I just wanted to ask whether you've had any conversations with either the SRI developers or the developers that are currently planning a project at USGS, both of which are very close to this project. I know there's going to be a lot of construction happening, potential road closures, different access points, et cetera. I'm just wondering if you're aware of that and if you've had any conversations about how to best navigate all that.
No, thank you for bringing that to our attention. We have been made aware that there will be other projects going on. We have an architect of record on board who will be coordinating across the community as well as with local utilities. We've already started speaking with PG&E, for example, to make sure we're all working in concert, and they obviously have jurisdiction over the entire area. But we'll take your notes into account, SRI and the other company you mentioned, and make sure we will coordinate to have minimal impact to the communities.
Thank you. Yeah, USGS is the other one. I believe it's right next to you. Yeah, I think for staff, we also had commented in the past that there's a lot of stuff happening on Middlefield in a small stretch. It's now reduced to 1 lane each. And so there's the firehouse project as well, or district office, I should say, that we heard recently. So yeah, there's just a lot happening on the street. So I'm hoping that staff is keeping an eye on all the different proposals and coordinating everything, because yeah, it would be great to have kind of a oversight and not have each issue tackled project by project.
Commissioner Baruzzi.
Slight tangent, but I want to address something my fellow commissioner just said about 1 lane each. Technically, the way Middlefield used to work was effectively similar, because the center 2 lanes in each direction functioned as a turning lane a lot of the time. And so at any given time, somebody who was traveling in the left-hand lane would need to stop and wait and navigate around. So the conversion from 4 lanes to 3 has not really functionally changed the way the road works.
Duly noted.
Thank you. Do any other commissioners have any comments on this item F2? Commissioner Schindler.
Thank you. Excuse me, I'll be very brief. I just want to have a note of appreciation to staff, and I guess indirectly to the transportation consultant. I believe it was W-Trans who did the traffic impact analysis. I appreciate that the estimates were conservative, and gave me greater confidence. Even with the conservative assumptions, it still came out without an impact. It was also very useful to me to see the list of under the near-term conditions, just the list of projects that are going on in Menlo Park. It was something that I've printed and kept on my desk, because it's hard sometimes to navigate all of the various other sources of live projects. It was page 157 of the staff report if you're looking for a cheat, if my other fellow commissioners are looking for a cheat sheet. I've no objection to approving the use permit revision and giving permission to operate a medical office in C1. I don't think there's I have no concerns with the slightly below requirement parking levels at all. And I look forward to having the additional 100+ jobs in Menlo Park. And if everyone I'm prepared to make a motion in support of the revision to the use permit.
Why don't you go ahead and make the motion, and then other people can.
So moved.
I'll second it.
Seeing no further commission discussion, I'm going to take a vote. Commissioner Baruzzi.
Yes.
Commissioner Doe.
Yes.
Commissioner Farrick.
Yes.
Commissioner Schindler.
Yes.
Commissioner Sillen.
Yes.
And I am a yes, which makes it unanimous. Thank you. Moving on to item G1, regular business. We have item G1 to consider and adopt a resolution recommending the City Council accept the general plan annual progress report. And I believe that staff intends to continue this item to the meeting of March 23rd. But before we get to that, I want to ask if staff has any updates to the item G1.
Yes, thank you, Vice Chair. This item will be ready for the March 23rd meeting.
In that case, I would like to formally move to continue item G1 to March 23rd.
I will second that.
All in favor? Please raise your hand. Seeing unanimous, the item is continued. Moving to informational items. Ms. Sandmeyer, would anyone from staff want to provide an update on upcoming Planning Commission meetings or agendas?
Yes, so for the March 23rd meeting, we have 1215 El Camino Real. It's an architectural control application. And then we have a single family home use permit application. We have the general plan APR, as we just mentioned. And then April 13th, we're aiming to bring the ADU ordinance update to that Planning Commission meeting. We have a couple other items we're looking to bring in April. I'm not sure yet which exact dates, and those include the SB 9 ordinance update as a study session, and also a study session on substandard lots for single-family districts.
Thank you. Do any commissioners have any clarifying questions about those updates? I do. I was just curious on the last thing that was mentioned. Would the study session on SB 9 and substandard lots, was that considered one study session, or are those two separate items that would be discussed separately?
I'm not sure exactly how we'll format it. They are two separate updates, yes.
Thank you. Do any commissioners have any informational items they'd like to bring up on their own? Seeing none, I'm happy to adjourn this meeting at 7:46 p.m. Thank you all.